The Coventry Carol is the most unfamiliar of the occasions for these reflections. Its matter is the Holocaust of the infants, sacrificed to Herod's lust for power. Its haunting melody, proposed in minor key, tugs at our humanity, at our sense of the right. Monstrous, monstrous is this thing that Herod has done. The words of the song break the heart. A lullaby, the sweetest nonsense syllables a mother may utter, spoken in despondent, inconsolable anguish of heart over the limp body of a precious infant who will never hear its strains, who will never grow to laugh, play, and love. This is the Holocaust of holocausts, and the very tenderness of the grief awakens our moral outrage. Herod dies in paranoia and agony, haunted by demons, his body torn from within by a vicious disease. This is right. This is divine judgment. May Herod be damned till the end of time. You see with whom we thus identify? We identify with Rachel, weeping for the child. We are the ones who hold the small, extinguished life in our hands. We are the ones who have been robbed and wronged. The sword has pierced our soul also. Thus we err. We are not the victims in the drama of salvation. We are the criminals. Our hands are dripping red gore, and the deaths of all things, death itself, is upon our heads. The least sin is the cause of infinite grief and shows to us our true identity. We are not Rachel, nor even the Holy Family. We are Herod. There is no hiding from this. We must recognize who we are. The coming of Christ is a powerful threat to our kingdom. We sit upon our mighty throne, understanding the challenges and privileges we have been afforded, reveling in our power and lording it over our brothers and sisters. But Christ has come. You can no longer pretend that you run this kingdom that is your life. You can no longer live as you wish. You can no longer be the judge of what is right and wrong. Bow the knee. The true king approaches. We say no. We say no from the depths of our being. We will die rather than give up what is rightfully ours. Christ is a threat. The gospel is not good news. It is rules and regulations and others judging us and meddling in our lives. Now we are righteously angry. How dare you tell me that I'm going to hell? How dare you say that I'm not good enough? How dare you accuse me of what you yourself are guilty of? I see there can be no friendship between us because you do not respect me. You do not love me. Kill the children. Kill them all. If their parents resist, kill them too. Nothing is more important than my autonomy. Nothing is more important than my rights. I am rightful king, and all others must perish before me. May Herod be condemned until the end of time. If you listen carefully, this song will surprise you. The phrase ends on a major chord each time. It doesn't take much music theory to know that minor is sad and major is hopeful. Time and again, the cadence returns to the hopeful strains of the major key, ending triumphantly, incongruously, even obscenely, on a chord of such surpassing beauty that catharsis is effortlessly achieved. Is this merely the aestheticization of infanticide? Has the composer forgotten his theme and been seduced by mere artistic beauty? Perhaps. But I choose to see it as something more. You will hear the song rising in urgency and power. The lament goes from a single household to every house in Bethlehem, to all of Israel, and to all the world. The rising tide of woe is a sea that swells and rolls, gathering into itself all and conquering all. But as it does so, there is a transformation. The minor key is successively conquered. The lament is swallowed up, and out of the heart of darkness, light emerges. This piece moves effortlessly from personal tragedy to cosmic victory. You see, Christ was not killed in that Holocaust. His death was delayed. The mother in the third stanza understands her loss as sacrifice. Woe is me, poor child, for thee. I receive this woe for your sake, that you may live to conquer all woes. This mother, a second Mary, by her fiat, releases Christ to live, to die, and so participates in the death of death. By the end, death is swallowed up in victory. There is solace for the little ones who were slain. There is solace for their parents. There is solace for Israel. There is solace for the world. And yes, my fiendish Herod, there is solace for you as well, if you want it. Christ's power breaks our anathema. The horror of the realization that we stand condemned by our own condemnation of Herod is also taken into the great sweep of this piece and is also transformed into the final triumphant major cadence. The light does not excuse the infanticide of our hearts. It forgives it and heals it. We are not left as orphans.